Have you been confused and maybe irritated about the fact that after you had children, after you gave birth, your body just changed in so many drastic ways? And I'm not talking about the normal changes of motherhood that are so welcome, but I'm talking about the chin hair. You noticed that it started increasing or it started popping out. Maybe you started losing hair and you haven't stopped. You might be 15 years postpartum, or maybe you just gave birth 15 months ago, but you've noticed that your belly is bigger than after you had given birth. So you gave birth, you lost some belly weight, and then it started increasing again. Have these symptoms just been confusing you? Worst of all, mentally, you may just never have come back to feeling like yourself. Maybe you have higher anxiety, depression, irritability, brain fog. You just can't think clearly. Did you know that it's not your fault? Did you know that these symptoms can be reversed and you can start feeling like yourself again? And today I'm going to show you why your body has been having these ultra crazy, undesired, unwelcome, embarrassing symptoms so I can empower you to do something about it. We're gonna jump right into it. Here's what happens postpartum that people don't talk about. You know, the very first thing postpartum is that when you are pregnant, your body has a lot of chemical changes. It shifts your hormones in ways you could never imagine. This word hormones, it gets thrown around so much, but all it is your body's messengers, which is the very chemical that gets sent from your brain to your liver to tell it what to do, or from your adrenals, where hormones are made, to your uterus to tell it what to do, or from the uterus to the brain. Whatever is going on, your brain needs to communicate, including your thyroid and all these other places. But today we're focusing on your uterus and your hormones around pregnancy. So here's what happens. When your body gets pregnant, one of the first hormones to start shooting up to increase is called progesterone. Progesterone. Now, progesterone is one of my favorite hormones and one of the ones that tends to be low in women after they give birth. I'm going to tell you how this ties into your symptoms so that you know what to do. So progesterone increases and that helps your body hold on to the baby. What it does is tell your body, hey, we're not having a period this month. Don't let the blood go, because the blood is the basket for your baby. It's the cushion, right? Of course, they've got water in there, but the blood, thick layer of blood, cushioning, but also providing nutrition and taking out waste. And I mean, it's just incredible. I'm a biology nerd. I love the human body, and women's bodies are just incredible. It's like a beautiful flower. So progesterone, that's what it does for you. Guess what happens when your body sends a hormone called oxytocin? Your brain sends it and it says, hey, body, the baby is ready. But then your body starts to shed progesterone, gets oxytocin to say it's time to let the baby go. And then the thing that happens that excites most pregnant women, you start having contractions. You're like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna get to meet my baby. It is such a high time. It's so exciting. It's so beautiful. Progesterone, sorry, you gotta go. So what does your body start to do? It starts shedding progesterone. For most postpartum people, you'll just hear of it as hormone shedding. Why? Because there's so many other hormones other than progesterone being shed. Your body takes so many hormones to sustain a pregnancy. And all of these are at play in different levels than they are when you're not pregnant. So progesterone and its friends start shedding. What does this do in a woman's body. It makes you feel, number one, cranky. That postpartum crankiness, you have this surge of oxytocin and you feel so bonded with your baby, and then a week goes by and 2 weeks go by and then you're just snapping at everybody, postpartum, you just snap, 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 snap. It's just, listen, I've done that 5 times, so I can call myself out. But what does that do? Progesterone is your happy hormone. It is my favorite hormone because it's the happy hormone. If you notice that you used to be vibrant and you just had like this uppity, perky spirit about you, and now after motherhood, your personality shifted and you just like, you live a little low, like in this gray area, right? And you just haven't come back out. It may be that your progesterone is low. Why? Because after it sheds, our society, unfortunately, has not continued to do the things that women used to do to get their bodies to rebalance if their bodies are struggling to do it themselves. Okay, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But let's look at this shedding. What does that shedding do? Makes you have low moods. Postpartum blues, postpartum depression, a lot of times is caused by hormonal shifts in your body. And we're talking about your happy hormone, and your body has to say, hey, let go. Everybody, okay, it's like if you have this factory, right? And it's a Ford plant and everybody is working, but there's an alarm that goes off and maybe a fire breaks out or some kind of emergency, and everyone has to exit the building and exit the parking lot. Can you imagine the amount of chaos that will be present at this Ford plant? That's going to be so chaotic because all the people are trying to leave at the same time. It's probably going to bottleneck, because you know how it is when people are not leaving in order. There's a lot of honking, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of people getting hurt. That's what's happening in your body when you're hormone shedding. There's so many hormones now just dumped into your blood system at the same time because they've got to make their way out. They're done working with the uterus. So your body has to process them. The liver has to clean them out. It's got to go through all your orifices, through your skin, through sweat, through your urine, through your feces, that's poop. And all of it has to just exit your body. But guess what? Sometimes we don't drink enough water after we give birth. So your body is not able to throw it out the way it needs to. Sometimes we don't eat well after we give birth. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Let me tell you, there are societies out there. In fact, I had a friend who gave birth around the same time that I did, and this was actually our church pastor's wife. And she's from Korea. Her mom came from Korea to take care of her. I saw that her mom was feeding her specific foods. She had her resting like excessively. It felt excessive to me, just like lay down, get a ton of rest. It was very intentional food to help her body deal with the chaos that was her hormones at the time. And it was very intentional rest patterns to help her body heal and recover and let all the mess and the trash and the excess hormones out. There are societies that still take care of women after they give birth instead of pushing them out of the bed as soon as they give birth, telling them they need to walk and walk and walk. Now, I understand after you've had surgery, like I did sometimes, we're trying to prevent blood clots or things like that can go wrong after surgery. But a lot of times women need more rest than they get at home because they don't have enough support or than the system pushes them to have. Women are coming out of hospital knowing that in 4 to 6 weeks they have to let this precious baby go to a daycare because they have to go back to work. Sometimes they get 8 weeks. Countries near us are giving women a year. and they can split it between husband and wife and have 6 months each. How beautiful is that? What if you knew that you have up to a year to be with your child and to give her or him the best start? You would feel entirely different than high levels of stress and cortisol, which is just adding to this mess. So you find that hormonal shift can cause a lot of hair shedding, a lot of skin dryness and acne popping up after birth. The belly area, instead of staying shrunk after getting rid of the baby, it starts to expand again a few months after. And people sometimes start to ask, are you pregnant again? Oh my goodness, that was the worst thing for me after I had my first child. And it wasn't even that long after I had the child. But like I thought, in my own, I thought I was starting to look cute again, right? Because mentally, women after pregnancy, we have body image issues. Can we just say that? So I did. After my first child, I'm 5 children deep now. So 5 children deep. Listen, look at this. I hope you can see this. My belly is not super distended, but look at this. Like it's right at the bottom here and it just lives there. Hello, I had a baby about 2-ish years ago and my body is doing its thing, but there's a flap there. So this is not about like pushing your body or anything, but this story happened to me a few months after I'd given birth. And I was like, oh, my body is coming back together. I go to a hair store to pick up some hair products. And while I'm at the hair store, a woman stops me and she's like, oh, how far along are you? It was my first time, y'all. I was so broken. I don't even remember what I said to her. I just probably fumbled. But I had just given birth. And I was like, oh, look at me. No, apparently not. So when it comes to hormone shedding, the high levels of cortisol, the stress mindsets, the irritability, the hormone shedding, it can sometimes cause your body to start collecting fat around your belly area. And this can be such a hard thing for women's self-image when their belly area is just swelling. And it's so stubborn, And I'm not talking about diastasis recti and all these other things. I'm just saying like in a normal situation where you just cannot seem to get rid of the belly, but everywhere else seems to be okay. Your hormones may be at play. Remember, it doesn't matter how long ago you had a baby. This can still be the case in your body if you never took the time or had the empowerment or the information to intentionally get your body back to balance. The worst thing, let me get some wipes. Why do I always forget my wipes? The worst part of hormone shedding and or hormone imbalance for women, I have found, is their mental state. Postpartum blues, but thankfully those do not last long. But if a woman falls into postpartum depression, it can be so difficult because you are stuck between these two worlds. I remember the feeling with my first child, and I'm like, I know I'm supposed to be happy, and I'm happy, but I don't feel happy. I feel sad. I feel a lot of anxiety. I'm crying all the time. I feel low. I feel uninspired, unmotivated to do anything. Sometimes even with the baby. Sometimes I feel unmotivated to mother. And it's this clash of you're like, what is wrong with me? Why am I feeling this way? What's broken about me? Thankfully, I had a lot of community, and I didn't know what I know now because it was that child that inspired me as a nurse and helped me see that I was missing another component of wellness, which was the whole person health. And so I am so thankful for that experience because now I help women who have gone through pregnancy and have given birth and may be facing postpartum depression based on possible hormonal imbalances, and I help them feel better. I know what it feels like. I wish that was the last time that happened to me, but it happened to me at least one other pregnancy. So I have a deep experience with the anguish, like your brain is just like, what is happening to me? And who am I? And when will I find me again? And how, where is she? What has happened? Is it this child's fault? Sometimes it can cause resentment. Sometimes it can interfere with the bonding with the child. So if that's been you, if you've experienced that, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not the baby's fault. The system has failed you. It's never too late to get reset so that your interactions with your children can become healthy again. Once you become healthy and balanced, because it doesn't matter, you may have given birth 30 years ago. If you did not deal with your postpartum depression and that mental sadness, and you just kind of lived a low life, and you know if you have, maybe you've been diagnosed, maybe you've been on medications, maybe you've been in and out of therapy. If you haven't dealt with the root cause, you may still be carrying that, and that's very heavy to carry. So I just want to give you hope and to show you why that's happening to you, so you can be empowered to find reset. Hey guys, real quick, I want to encourage you to join the newsletter. You're going to see a link down below. All you have to do is to add your email to our newsletter, and I will send you summaries, insights, hacks, and tips that you can do in a very short form so that you can be empowered to take action and take back your health. You will also be notified when we have the next masterclass, so you can hop in and take all the nuggets and change your life, but not just yours, because you'll notice that when you change your life, you're going to change your children's life, your community's life, your sister, your mom, whoever is struggling from hormone imbalance symptoms. All right, so let's get back to it. Now you may be wondering, all right, Annie, I get it. I get where some of the sources of my symptoms have come from, but what can I do about it? How can I take action to start feeling more like myself again? One of the moms who just completed my Done For You in-person hormone reset program, on the third day, we were talking and she said to me in tears that she had not felt this steady. Those were her words, steady. That was a different word for me to hear. Not balanced, not like myself, not energetic. She said steady. Said, I haven't felt this steady in such a long time. And I was so thankful to hear that, because I've never used the word steady to describe the feeling of not having a stable ground, of feeling lost within yourself, of feeling like a stranger in your own body, of feeling helpless and out of control, and sometimes of just feeling sad, like there's no hope for you. Now, I want to address this and say, if you are feeling that way, there is hope for you, but my words are not going to do it as much as you need help. Please get help if you need it. Sometimes I know as moms, we like to do things alone and we like to carry the burden and to help other people. But if you are struggling, even the help you're giving to others is not terribly helpful. You are giving from an empty cup. Please get help. Look for help. Desire it. It's here. I help women if that's something that you would like to do. But there are others who do as well. Get help. So you want to feel steady. Do these things. Come back and tell me if it doesn't work. This is just going to be the beginning. You're going to go in layers and go so deep. You're going to find your best self. All right. Sometimes you don't even want to go back to your old version of yourself. You want something better. There's levels to this. But do this. Tell me if it doesn't work. Number 1, get more sleep. Girl, get more sleep. I promise you, it will do more for you than many things I can tell you to do. Why? Because your body knows what to do, but it needs time and space to do it. Get more sleep. Turn your gadgets off. Turn that thing off. Turn it off. I used to have this feeling like if I turn my phone off, what if someone has an emergency? They'll call 911. Turn your phone off. Put it in a different room 2 hours before you have to go to sleep. Turn the TV off, turn the computer off. Yes, you will be very bored and you will probably find your way to bed or to a book. Best of all, to a journal. Write your thoughts down. You can find yourself on this loop like a hamster with all these negative self-talk and thoughts. Write them down. Let it go. Get more sleep. Number 2, get more water. Please drink more water. So here's the thing. Your body is over 70% water. Let that sink in. How much water do we drink? Not juice, not tea, not all those things are great, and don't complicate it. Please don't buy alkaline water and this and that and the other. You know, a lot of that money we're spending on these things, we could just be spending on getting a better quality of life. If you need an alkaline boost, add lemons to your water. Yes, lemon water is alkalinizing to your body. Guys, it's all in nature. Those bottled waters are not helping us anyway, but that's in another video that I will link somewhere. Number 3. Oh, this was water. Let me write it down, right? Water. Get more water. Number 3, eat more plants. Here's the thing, I have a lot of pushback. People say, I ate plants and this and that happened, this negative happened. I would challenge that. I'm not 100% plant-based, but I would challenge that because the one time I've seen plant-based eating not work for people is when, unfortunately, they don't know how to do it right. Plant-based is not about eating fake meats, fast food that's plant-based, Oreos. People are like, Oreos are vegan. Sure. It's about eating whole foods. Whole foods. So whether you're plant-based, meat eating, whatever, eat whole foods. When it comes to meat, whole meat means grass-fed beef. Backyard raised chicken. You don't have to raise it yourself. You can buy it at a local farmer's market. You can become a part of someone's farm share. That means you go to their farm, you buy a part of their cow, they raise it, they slaughter it, they give you a share. You can do that. You can eat whole foods. Whole foods. If you're critical, eat more plants than meats. Well, eat more plants than meats anyway. All right, number 4, and the last one, exercise. Exercise is not weight loss. You may not need to lose any weight whatsoever, but you need to exercise. Why? Because it helps your body release endorphins, which are feel-good hormones, and it helps your body move your blood in ways that helps it cleanse. You sweat, you detox. Exercise is amazing. It's an amazing tool to give your body. If you do these 4 things, you will be ready for more. This is not the end, by the way. But this is a sustainable system you can use starting today. You can get more sleep tonight. You can drink more water today. You can eat better starting today. Just take a smaller portion of meat, eat more whole foods, and move for 30 seconds today. If you haven't exercised in a while, 30 seconds, just in place, just like this. Boom. There you have it. 30 seconds. The next day, add another 5 seconds. The next day, add another 5 or 10 seconds. On and on and on. It's not about building Rome in a day. but it's about restoring you in small, sustainable steps. All right, y'all. My name is Annie, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.